It's UPB here from OptionMillionaires.com. Thanks for joining me. It is July 9th. It's Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. I'm going to do a very quick market update for you. Sorry, it's not going to be too long for you. Just really quick. Don't get disappointed now. I'll have something later for you tonight. A couple option trades, option possibilities that I see happening. For the first time in a couple months, I'm actually positioned in some option contracts. Usually I just do one or two. I think I'm in 6 different calls. So we'll see how those work out. Some of them are already working out pretty good. Those of you who bought puts at the close yesterday on Friday, yes, we gapped lower, continued lower till about 10:30. It was one of those days where it just stocks seemed like they wanted to rally off the lows and just kept getting smacked down. And it's like rally, oh, no you don't, rally, oh, no you don't. And finally, at the end of the day, I guess all those people that were smacking them down, the sellers there, kind of gave up at the end of the day. Said, all right, we'll let you win a little bit, even though we closed off the session highs. It was a nice little ramp there from about an hour into the close. How about Alcoa after hours? Futures are actually coming back a little bit. After hours, Alcoa is flat. Did spike higher. I'm in the $9 calls for this week. Could have moved out to next week. Got them at about 22 cents, 23 cents, I believe, at the close. Cheaper than that when I bought my $9 calls for this week. Bought them at 15 cents. I believe they close at 18 cents. But I do have 4 days left, and this is the type of trade I like to make for earnings. Not putting a little too much capital at risk, but enough where if the stock moves the way I think it will, I'll make a nice profit. That's Alcoa. I moved into a couple other stocks today, but first let's look at Apple. Apple had a great day. Apple's been up the last couple of sessions since before the 4th of July holiday. We'll pull back into 60. We can see a couple things that I like to see with Apple. Look at the inverted head and shoulders. And all we meandered around in this range here at 570 support. Finally blasted higher just before July and are continuing some momentum there. Today we closed at the high of the session for Apple. I still am not really a trader of Apple options just due to the fact that they're just so much premium involved when you buy them. Let's just go look at Apple real quick, and you can see what kind of calls you're looking at. 620 calls are going for $3.15. I mean, that's just, in my view, or if you want to go a little farther out, you can go to the $630 calls, which is a good 3% away, and that's just from breaking even. So I really am staying away from the Apple calls for now. Although, if you had bought some on Friday, you would think after a nice move like this, 1.3%, you still weren't banking too much coin. For instance, the Apple 630s, if you went far out of the money, were actually down on the day. You lost almost 15%. So it's not all peaches and cream when a stock goes up, but if you position yourself properly and an option that is not too, doesn't have too much premium. For instance, I like the IBM calls here, just because IBM's been beaten down so much. IBM actually was tossed, was just destroyed this morning. Fell below, I believe it hit 188. Came off its lows. I like the 195 lottos here. 17 cents by 19 cents. I'll get into more trades overnight when I send out my next video. But if you look at the IBM today, look, we hit our low there about 10:30 and just kind of melted higher. It was a nice trading day if you bought in at the lows there. So I do like IBM. You pull back a little bit. I do think we're going to see a little bit of a move back towards the gap down we had last Friday on the jobs report. And like I was telling people in the chat room today, IBM was at 197 on Thursday. That's only a couple days ago. And if IBM gets back to 197, which is always a possibility, and which is only a 2.5% move, those options that are worth 17 to 19 cents would be worth $2 plus. So, hey, it's worth the risk, in my opinion at least. Let's just move on to a couple other stocks, and then we'll call it a day. How about Cena? I got in Cena for a bounce, and we did bounce off our lows here. We'll see if this momentum continues into Tuesday. The 5250s were going, I believe, for 23 cents. I think they closed at 30 cents. I also liked FFIV for a move off its lows. FFIV hit double low here, double bottom, rallied with many of the other stocks there after lunchtime, and then kind of petered out towards the end of the day. Just a nice gap down from the jobs report over $100. FFIV is oversold, And I like the $100 calls. I believe I got them at 21 cents. And Las Vegas Sands. Las Vegas Sands, I was saying, is a stock that's just stuck in mud, just couldn't move today, fell down 2%. Couldn't muster any kind of recovery there. I'm in the $42 calls. Believe they closed at about 49 cents. And finally, Caterpillar. Caterpillar closed just off its lows of the day, broke below $83, and just like LVS, just couldn't muster any kind of rally. You see the $86. That's the line in the sand. I don't know if you guys remember, gosh, many months ago. That's kind of been the magnet for Caterpillar. So the 80, $85 calls, I believe, are going 43 cents or something like that. And so if Caterpillar can muster back to $86, those would be worth at least a double. So, all right, this is UPB here from OptionMillionaires.com. We'll see what happens with Alcoa tomorrow. I will have a video tonight going over a couple of additional option trades for you. Hope you had a profitable session, and it's going to be a great week. Earnings season kicking off. Next week's going to be even better. We have Apple. Just going to be fabulous. Fabulous. As always. UPB here. Take care. Have yourselves a great night. Goodbye.